Hi, welcome back to part 2 of How to Decorate a Christmas Tree. My name is Charie Marr and welcome. We've now so far taken this is an older tree, and we've cut all of the old lights out of it. And you can see down here, this is a big box of all the lights that were on it. The next step that you have to do is to shape your tree. And your tree has been stored away for a year in an attic or a basement, wrapped up in something or put in a box. It's been flattened out, and you have to now bring it back to shape to look like a tree. And you'll notice that I've shaped these branches right in here, and you'll notice how different they look from these branches over here, which I haven't touched yet, which are all flat because they've been pushed up and stored. So you have to go through now, and every branch all the way around, front and back, you have to shape your tree to make it look like a tree. It'll get rid of these big holes where you can see the interior of the tree. What you're going to do is the branches that are way deep inside, you're going to push up and shape, and that's going to hide that pole in the middle. I'll show you other ways later on that we're going to hide it even more. But you may want to wear your gloves for this, but what you do is you just start with the branch and you just start pulling and shaping, pulling them out straight, all of the points, and getting them out. Later on, if you have an ornament that you are hanging that's heavy and you want to bend a point up or something like that, we can always make corrections later on. But for right now, we want to get the shape of a tree. Now, if you're working with a real tree, you may have to do a similar kind of thing. That tree may have branches that are maybe too long in one area, and you may have to go in and do a little trimming too. That's to be expected. You may want to wear your gloves when you do this because it is a little rough on your hands, and you may find that every so often a point falls off. That's to be expected. It happens every once in a while. Don't worry about it. Just shape your tree, and you'll see how as you're starting to shape it, it's starting to look more rounded and more like a tree. So you're going to do that all the way around. Now, while we're here, we're going to discuss some preparation for how to decorate it. This tree gets about 2,500 ornaments on it, which is a lot more than you probably would have. But this is the thing. If you're starting a tree that you want to have themed, like this is a Victorian themed tree, you'll see that later, you might not have all those ornaments at once. It may take you, this has taken me several years to come up with all the ornaments that I like, and I'm forever adding more and subtracting. What you may want to do is you may want to start with a color theme. This tree is done, as you will see later, in pink, burgundy, gold, and pearl. You may want to start with a bunch of inexpensive balls, glass, or even plastic that are in that color theme, with a certain number, that you can afford, of nice ornaments that you will put and we'll show you how to use the ornaments to put in different areas of the tree to your advantage. I started off by making a lot. I made a lot out of lace doilies. I took a lot of glass balls and glued lace and pearls on them. I started out with clear glass balls and filled them with potpourri. I did a lot of things. Now, I use some of those, but I've added a lot to the tree, and you'll see all the different things that I've added as we go along. But now, lighting, figure 100 lights per foot. And that's really for a basic tree. For a wide tree like this, it may even be more. go all the way around. Don't skimp on the back, because believe it or not, the back shows. There's no way you can, this tree's up in a corner, but the back of it shows. You also have to decorate the back of the tree to some extent, because it will topple over. I did have one topple over on me before I had my beautiful stand made. You want to decorate to a certain extent the back of your tree to add weight. If you're going to use ribbon, and some people like to wrap ribbons around the tree, figure again 10 yards of ribbon per foot of tree. More if it's a very wide tree, and this is a very wide tree. I'll show you how to use ribbons. I don't use ribbons on this tree, but I will show you how to do it. The same thing goes for garland, about 10 feet per 100, about 100, whatever, 10 feet per foot of a tree, all the way up to the top. And I will show you how to do that, but again, I don't use them on this tree because it's just too much. There's not enough room. I will also show you when we get to the top how to make bows. Now, I will tell you this, that this is a 3-part tree. What you're looking at is only 2 parts. I don't use the top of the tree, and I will explain later why, but I use the flatness of the second level, and I don't use the tree top. I find it easier when I use my angel and other things that I put on the top of the tree, not to use that little pointy top and try to stuff things into it. It doesn't really make any difference. When I'm finished, you won't know that there isn't a top on this tree. So that's what we're going to do now. You might want to use gloves. It's a little rough on the hands, but go around your tree and shape it. Pull the tips of your branches out. Go back into the middle. Push some of them up so that you're hiding the pole down the middle. And it should take you maybe an hour or 2 to shape your tree. And then we'll start, then the next step will be, section 3 will be about how to light it. Bye, and peace be with you.